right there. Okay, let's try it. Mexican Americans don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and white girls named Debbie too.
Next, the National Hispanic Leadership Agenda, a coalition of 30 national organizations. They talk about grassroots support for comprehensive immigration reform. Hispanic Federation President Jose Calderon talked about immigration reform as the issue uniting Hispanics. This is just over half an hour.
Just waiting for the signal. Buenos dias, good morning. My name is Hector Sanchez. I'm the chair of the National Hispanic Leadership Agenda and executive director of the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement. Today is a great day for our community. We're coming together in unity to present an unprecedented campaign on immigration reform. The National Hispanic Leadership Agenda is the most important national Latino coalition. We have 34 of the most important national Latino organizations in the nation, and we come together to debate and agree on the policies and priorities for the Latino community. Obviously, one of the top priorities for our communities is immigration reform, and we have been working as a coalition for a very long time, making sure that we have a solid strategy in the nation. And this is a particular moment of importance for the community, for the coalition, and for the nation to make sure that we have immigration reform. As a nation, we waited a long time to make sure that we take the right steps in the right direction. This is the year of immigration reform, and today we have a great campaign that we're launching today. It's the continuation of some of the work that we've been doing for some time, and the name of the campaign is Latinos United for Immigration Reform. It's a very important campaign. We've been working for a number of months with both sides of the aisle, making sure that the principles that we're going to present to them are on the table, that are priorities. We're going to do mobilizations, strategic mobilizations all over the nation. This is going to be presented today. So we're really happy to be here, and we look forward to working with other coalitions, with everybody in this nation to make sure that immigration reform takes place this year. Muchas gracias a todos por estar con nosotros. Mi nombre es Héctor Sánchez, soy el presidente de la coalición.
Mexican Americans are named Chata and Chela and Chema and have a son-in-law named Jeff.
And most specifically, you'll find that 8 of the 44, of which it was originally 24 before we got into the Vietnam War and the wars of late, 8 of those original 22 Medal of Honor were of Mexican non-citizens that got their citizen after they got the Medal of Honor because they served in our country. The other part of it is that over 20% of the casualties and participation of Hispanics in all our wars, especially the last war since the Second World War, have been us. And so we paid our debt, and we paid it in many ways. And I think it's time now that we really understand that we are part of the fabric, and we continue to grow, and we continue to take our rightful position of leadership. Thank you very much.
Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to.
Now,
So
Tomás
they do
Sáenz,
it
President
real
and General
slow.
Counsel of the Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund.
Thank you, Hector. Good morning. On behalf of MALDEF, which is celebrating its 45th anniversary this year, I'm pleased to be here this morning to join my colleagues from NHLA and beyond in launching Latinos United for Immigration Reform. Last November, Latinos voted in record numbers to select a president and a Congress, with the clear message that their expectation was that immigration reform would be a part of the agenda of that Congress and president in 2013. That message sent last November is reinforced by what is being launched today, a critically important outlet and opportunity for those Latino voters and their supporters within and outside the Latino community to demonstrate their support for basic principles behind immigration reform.
Mexican Americans education, so they go to night school and they take Spanish and get a B. Yeah, leave that in.
Thank you, Tom. Jose Calderon, the president of Hispanic Federation.
Gracias, Hector. Good morning, buenos dias. Latinos from east to west, north to south, have come together unlike at any point in recent memory to demand for broad and just immigration reform. That was clearly evident, as Tom mentioned, in last year's presidential elections, where 12.5 million Latinos went out to the polls, really marched to the polls to say enough. We demand, we expect broad and just immigration reform. And so today represents a coming together of Latino leaders, right? That here you have my colleagues that represent tens of millions of Latinos across this nation that are coming together to make sure that our community's voice is going to be heard, to make sure that our community is mobilized and engaged in key congressional districts across the country. One of the things that we look to do today moving forward is having town halls across America to make sure that that voice is loudly and clearly heard across the country. It is critically important that Latinos are heard in this debate, because ultimately the reason that we stand here today, the reason that we're talking about immigration reform as a nation, is because Latinos have said enough. We want to make sure that our broken immigration system is fixed, and that it is fixed this year. So one of the mobilizations is 60 town halls across America. The Hispanic Federation, along with many of our colleagues here, will be conducting these town halls with hundreds of people in key congressional districts, as I mentioned, to make sure that congressional members across America get the point that this is not only an important issue for our community, it is a defining issue for our community. Above all else, we care about a lot of different things, but this issue has united us unlike any other issue before, and we demand just and broad immigration reform, and I stand with my colleagues to make sure that that happens this year. Gracias.
Mexican Americans love their nanas and their nonos and their ninas and their ninos.